people messing up the signs. Negative 18, 5. Look at that. This is happiness. We are super excited. That worked. That worked. So our factor, if it's minus 2 on the outside, what's the factor? X plus 2. Remember our original polynomial was an x to the fourth. So we're dividing. So what's the highest exponent? X to the third. So I have x to the third minus 7x squared plus 9x plus 5. All right, I'm going to write that on my original, underneath my original problem. So p of x now equals x plus 2, x to the third minus 7x squared plus 9x plus 5. Okay. Okay, so now can we factor this? So do we know how to factor stuff that looks like this? That's the question. We could do grouping. So let's try grouping, see if it works. Okay. So I'm going to look at on this paper. So look at this problem. Ignore the x plus 2. I want to try to factor it because I do have a method for factoring this. So x cubed minus 7x squared. Can you factor that? GCF, x squared, x minus 7. Okay. Look at the next two. 9x plus 5. Is there a GCF there? Oops. No, so it's 1. So plus 1, 9x plus 5. So does this factor using grouping? Oopsies. It'd be helpful if you could see what I was writing. Yeah, that didn't work. These have to be the same. Okay, light went off. Hold on. All right, there we go. This did not work. You cannot use factor by grouping. So now we have to do this again. I know. You want to cry right now. So now we have x cubed minus 7x squared plus 9x plus 5. So we have no way of factoring this. We don't have a method right now because the only method we knew was factor by grouping. Now, what are our possible roots at this point? So things that multiply to 5. So look at my original list. This was my original list. But some of them didn't work. What didn't work? Look. My 1 and negative 1 didn't work. So I'm going to cross these out. The 2 didn't work. The 2 gave me a sad face. So I'm going to cross off the 2, the positive 2. Negative 2 did work. Now, since my new number is now 5, which one can I also cross off? The 10s. The 10 is not going to be it. So now, oh wait, and the 2 doesn't work either because 2 doesn't go into 5. So it's either plus or minus 5. So if a number didn't work for the original, it's not going to work for this one. The plus and minus 1 didn't work for the original problem, so it's not going to work for my factored version. Okay? So we only have to test 5 and negative 5. All right? So we're going to test 5 and negative 5 and see which one it is. So 1, negative 7, 9, and 5. So stick with the positive. All right? 1, 5, negative 2, negative 10, negative 1. Oh, hey. Yay. Oh, I got it on the first try. Thank goodness, because this has been a lot of work. All right, so my factor is what? If this is positive 5, x minus 5. And what's left? It was an x cubed, so it goes down to an x squared minus 2x minus 1. Now remember, this is not the answer. This is just this. So let's go back to the original problem. This is my original problem. Let me try to show both at the same time. So I have this x plus 2. And then this I'm going to replace with x minus 5. And then x squared minus 2x minus 1. All right, now look at what's left. X squared minus 2x minus 1. Can I factor that? I mean, what is that? That would be an MC chart, right? So let's try to make an MC chart. We're multiplying to negative 1 and combining to negative 2. Does this work? 1 times negative 1 is the only thing that multiplies to negative 1. What does that give you? 0. So this is not factorable. All right? This is not factorable. So how would you find its roots? Haha, quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so I'm going to write the problem on a separate piece of paper again because we need lots of room. X minus 5, x squared minus 2x minus 1. All right, so I'm finding the roots now. When I find the roots, for these two it's easy. Just switch the sign. For this one, to find those roots, the only way to do that is to do the quadratic formula. So, can you see what I'm writing? Negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so what's b in this problem? B is the number in front of x, negative 2. B squared minus 4a. A is whatever is in front of x squared. There's nothing there, so it's a 1. C is the number by itself, negative 1. A again was 1. Negative 2 gives you 2, plus or minus the square root. This, you can stick it in the calculator. You get 4 plus 4, which is 8, all over 2. Okay. So then, what is the square root of 8? 2 plus or minus all over 2. I'm going to get out my handy-dandy calculator. Second, square root of 8. 2.828. 2.828. So I just put the square root of 8 in. 8.2828. 2.828. And then it's plus or minus, so you break it up. 2 plus 2.828 all over 2. And 2 minus 2.828 all over 2. Now be careful if you're going to use a calculator. This is what students do. You ready? I'll show you what you guys do. 2 plus 2.828 divided by 2. That is not the answer. If you're going to do it in one shot, you need parentheses. 2 plus 2.828 divided by 2, like that. 2.414. The calculator does order of operations, so it doesn't add first. You have to add first, then